It's the HWPO Podcast. Barbells, beats, and buffoonery.
3, 2, 1, go! Here we go.
Dope conversations.
Damn, that's my Genghis Khan.
Where fitness, pop culture, and a lot of random buffoonery collide.
I'm coming for you.
It's ridiculous, really.
Hashtag Space War.
But amusing.
Wex, you laughed least at me, so you get to go next.
Here's your host, Wex.
I was going to say I blacked out during the explanation. I just heard space.
Oh, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the HWPO Podcast, Barbells, Beats, and Buffoonery. We're coming to you live with video. It's not live, I guess. I'm recording it, but coming to you with video, and we're doing a whole bunch of cool stuff with video that we're posting and streaming and doing all sorts of new things. So if you have not done it yet, go to the Instagram, HWPO Podcast, go to YouTube, subscribe to both of those. Those are the two main ones. Also go on Spotify, go to your podcast section in Spotify, find the HWPO Podcast and subscribe. Help me out. Get my listenership up and get all the followers up and all this sort of stuff. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. One of those things is I'm proud to announce our brand new sponsor for the show, our sponsor being Thunderbro. So we have 3 sponsors for the show, which I am super excited about. We have Thunderbro. If you listen to the last episode, Dave Lipson, the founder and creator of Thunderbro, talks about hypertrophy and strength training along with functional fitness, and I'm excited. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you on a journey. The HWPO Podcast is going to take you on a fitness journey. We're going to jump and deep dive into the Thunderbro programming, and I'm going to do a 90-day challenge with Dave Lipson. We're going to post about it. We're going to have it on TikTok. We're going to have it on the Instagram page. We're going to post hopefully daily for the whole 90 days of updates and different things that we're doing, different things that I'm doing to try and get my health back to a place that I like it. I just turned 43. Just posted on Instagram, actually, the birthday burpees that I was assigned by my coach, Coach AJ at Tier 1 CrossFit, and they were wall walk burpees. And if you want to know what that is, it sounds exactly like it. You walk up the wall, and one of the things that we have to do at our gym is we have to what we call boop the nose. So you wall walk all the way up, touch your nose to the wall, come down, and then you do a burpee. And that's our burpees. And I'm 43. So it took a while. It took 30 minutes to get that done. But we did it. It's done. Hey, age, it's a thing. Our other sponsor that I wanted to bring to your attention, and if you're watching this on YouTube, it's scrolling across the screen right now in beautiful graphics because we're doing new things. Strong Coffee Company. Strong Coffee Company is the way that I start my morning almost every single morning, and it is an instant cup of coffee, but it has so much more benefits than just the energy that you get from coffee. It is a morning it's the best way to wake up in the morning. Best part of waking up is strong coffee in your cup. And what it is it has collagen protein. It has MCT oil. It has neurofactor for your brain, for your gut health. It has all sorts of things in it. It's a packed, just powerhouse of nutrients that gets your day started right, gets you the coffee that you need, that you want, gets you the energy, and overall makes you healthier for your skin, your eyes, or your skin, your hair, your nails, all those things. I think it does anything for your eyes. I need that help too. But best part of getting up in the morning is making my strong cup of coffee. My kids love to make it as well, so they'll fight over who gets to make dad's coffee because they get to use a little frother and mix it up and make me my latte in the morning, which is a beautiful thing. If you have kids, teach them how to make coffee. It'll benefit them later on in life for sure. But if you go to strongcoffeecompany.com and you use my code, the promo code is WEXAPPEAL. Use that promo code for $15 off your order. So go to strongcoffeecompany.com. Like I said, it's scrolling across the screen right now on the YouTube page if you are watching it. But if you're listening, go to strongcoffeecompany.com. Use the code WEXAPPEAL to get $15 off your order. My other sponsor is another sponsor that I absolutely love. Now scrolling across the screen in beautiful color is Blackout Barbell. Blackout Barbell is one of my favorite apparel companies, not only just because their product is comfortable, great to work out in, but their style is awesome. You got the 2 X's for the eyes and the barbell for the mouth. Their logo, the blackout barbell logo, you can see it, on the cover screen. We throwing it up there on the cover screen too. But blackout barbell, they've been a great company to work with. They're a local company out of Alabama. That just a small company that is doing big things. Their shorts are probably my favorite shorts I've ever worn working out, like literally ever worn working out. They got a 5-inch inseam, so they let your legs get those gains. As I always like to say, the shorter the shorts, the higher the gains. But they have longer shorts as well for you guys who don't want to show off the legs as much. But their shirts are super comfortable, very lightweight, great to work out in the gym. Their shorts have a liner inside that is awesome, super comfortable. I usually don't like liners in my shorts, but these were great. And all in all, just a great company, great people, and a great message that they're putting out there, just trying to make people better in the gym and look good doing it. So go to blackoutbarbell.shop. Use my code BLKOUT. That's blackout, all caps, BLKOUT, to get 10% off your order and a special gift from the WXPO podcast. So get over there, do it today. My guest today, man, he's awesome. I got to meet him for the first time in person at the CrossFit Games. Got to talk to him at Wodapalooza. He's been on the show before, but now he's on the show by himself. He is the CEO of HWPO Training. People know him as the Chief Keefe. Mr. Mat O'Keefe is on the show today. We had a great conversation. We talked about all the athletes. We talked about the CrossFit Games coming. We talked about Wodapalooza. We talked about Mal O'Brien. We talked about, Matt and Sammy and the new baby coming, the baby Fraser coming very, very soon, very close to the games, actually. We talk all about all those things, but Mat O'Keefe is on the show today. Great guy. Had a great time talking to him. So kick back, enjoy, listen to the Chief himself, the CEO of HWPO Training, Mr. Mat O'Keefe. All right, welcome to the WXPO podcast. I'm your host, of course, Wex, and my guest today is the CEO, correct, of HWPO Training, Mr. Mat O'Keefe. Thank you, sir, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure, dude.
Absolutely. So how is everything going for you guys up there in Vermont? How's training going? We're only a couple weeks away from Madison, so how's life right now?
It's really good. Honestly, it's an exciting time for us with our new building to, see it, all this come to fruition, why we built it, have our team collaborating more and have our athletes in one place training for the games. And there's been some visitors, which has been really fun. Yeah, it couldn't it couldn't be better. We're getting ready for the games. We're going to be a partner at the games, so we've got a lot going on there. First time exhibiting, so all new and exciting, challenges ahead. But everything's great. Everybody's
Awesome.
great. Everything is just in line right now.
Yeah, and I know last time we had talked, we were at Wodapalooza, and we were talking about the opening of this new building. So that was a big step. And I've been watching, of course, the videos coming out from different people from, of course, your own platform, but also Buttery Bros, Craig Ritchie, all those guys up there. It looks beautiful, looks amazing. How is it been for the whole group to just kind of be there and really training together?
Yeah, thank you. It is awesome. It's really what Matt would have, wanted in a perfect world from a training perspective when he was active. So I think he took everything he learned, thought of things maybe he was lacking, and we did it. There's so many cool little features there. None better than, our family team together more consistently in one place. It was a little bit harder before because the gym below Matt and Sammy's house was amazing, super functional, but too small for everybody to work out at once. And we couldn't do certain things there. We had to go to a local affiliate to do that. So it's just really cool to have everybody in one place and then, see how happy they are with that. When, you do something, you don't know necessarily always how it's going to be received, but they're really happy. Their training's going really well. And they have every tool they need. They have a place they can sleep between workouts. They have recovery tools like cold bath, ice barrel, cold bath, cold plunge, and sauna. So, things are really good, honestly. It's aside from them, going through the gauntlet really right now, it's just a tough time of year. They train a lot and getting down to the wire. Everything's great.
Yeah, and they're looking great. I love the team, and we talked about it, at Wodapalooza as far as the kind of the team of killers that you guys have assembled. But I just saw that Christine Collenbrander has joined the mix. When did she kind of come into the fold and join the team?
Yeah, great question. We have a bunch of athletes we specifically coach, and then we have another group of athletes that do our training through our pro platform, track, and they might have another coach or somebody supporting them, and that we just, we try to support them a little bit, help them understand how to maybe tailor the pro track to what they do and their specific weaknesses. She's been a friend a long time through Noble, and when she was on the team prior, we've been around each other indirectly for a long time. And she has a person that coaches her day to day, and we just help them out a bit. And then when we have opportunities to get people to come train, we'll take that for sure. So yeah, she's been doing pro, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but for 2
Sure.
years now. I think she was a
Okay.
part of it last year as well.
Okay, but this was, I mean, the video with the Buttery Bros was kind of almost like the coming out party for what it seemed. She's in with the group, she's training with, of course, Katrin and just going back and forth with Jason and things like that. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that she was actually like in the fold and kind of competing alongside them with everything with training. So it was really cool to see because she's just such a
She's
powerful
cool.
athlete.
Yeah, I think, some of that is, we walk into the work, and we want to really wave the flag and be really proud of who we work with, even, on a little bit of a smaller scale than direct day to day. But we also like really cautious about taking credit for things with people. Like I don't, she's really proud to work with us, and we are her. And I think it's like, probably us getting the first opportunity to really spend some one-on-one time with her and build some content. But it really isn't about us when it comes to that stuff. I mean, even the people we directly coach, we're just there to make them their best. And it isn't about HWPO training's position in that. It's really, how do we do what is best for each of those individuals so that they can be what they want to be on the floor in the first week of August.
Yeah, and that being said, though, I mean, I know you kind of played it a little bit, but Katrin looks like there's just a new fire. Like I'm very excited to see what's going to happen this year with her. Obviously with Amanda as well. Those two have been one of my favorite, two of my favorite athletes just throughout this time anyways. And then joining up with you guys, it just seems like especially Katrin has that. I think she's got a chip on her shoulder from last year, and it really looks like she's just gonna be somebody to reckon with that I think people have kind of forgotten or maybe written off a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't. Honestly, we're really excited to work with her for that reason. Otherwise, that she's one of our best friends, Matt,
Yeah,
Sammy included. So it was a hard yes on people, and then a hard yes because she's so motivated. I mean, she's never not worked her butt off. We've found, we it's funny going into that. There's a lot of caution from all of us, a little bit, a little bit, Matt, particularly because we are so close. And what we've learned through that is that that's magic. We communicate really well. We have a lot of respect for each other, which I think translates to, her being incredibly happy in her environment. And we see the potential that she still has, always has have, which I think would charge
yeah,
anybody up. I think when you are with people that believe in you, not to say that others didn't. It's just, we're really urgent with Kat and her training right now because she is ready to go. Like she can do some damage. I'm excited to see what that looks like in Madison, and you guys can all see it through her face, through social. She is excited right now.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's been really a, a pleasure, a lot of fun. People there, younger, learning a lot from her as well. She's taken on a really cool role of, I'm not done. I'm still competing, but also, assisting others that, we coach that are a part of our crew, and what her experience is, which is invaluable. I mean, she's one of the most grizzled veterans in the history of the
Yeah.
space. So it's been awesome. She is crushing it. I'm really proud of her because she's done a lot of hard things, honestly. I think people have seen it already, but she, has a lot of things that she's been working really hard on and has been for years. We've asked her to look at things a little differently on some of that, and collectively, we have a great coaching staff that's been able to identify really cool areas of opportunity for her. But she's put in the work. She's worked her butt off, and when she's happy, there's another gear, that goes into
Yeah.
that work.
And that being said, like, we talked, of course, about everybody that's coming up with HWPO training and doing the work. There's a lot of things to be excited about, especially with the way that you guys performed at semifinals. How that whole crew you guys got, I think, how many podiums you got? I know Jason was on the podium in the East.
Amanda,
Amanda and
Katrin.
Katrin in the West, or no, Amanda was in the East, and then Katrin, in the West. And I mean, they just looked very strong at semis. So a lot of things to be excited about,
Mhm.
with that whole crew. Um, how has it kind of been different, going into this season? And I know there's, obviously a baby due. Like how is that added to a fun little stress? Are you going to be Godfather O'Keefe? Is that going to be the new official title?
I don't know what my title is. It'll be significant. That's it. I can't wait for baby Fraser
Yeah.
to come. It's exciting times. It's really interesting. It's such a great question because internally for us, Sammy plays such a big role in our business. She's our brand voice. She handles all of our content and creative. And the thought of what she's going through and how does that affect that? It hasn't at all, honestly. I've been very observant of that from day one of knowing that they were going to have a baby to make sure that she had what she needed to be, most ready for that. She hasn't skipped a beat. I have often, I tell her, man, you do pregnant better than anybody I've ever been around. It's like putting in long, hard days and, you know, with all the chaos up there. And it's good
Of
chaos.
course.
There's just a lot going on in game season. She's been a champ. So it's a really fun time. They're super locked in, ready to go. I mean, it's just like the waiting game right now. And hopefully there's no labor during the CrossFit Games so Matt can stay and
I was gonna
coach.
say, 'cause
And
it's
that's
pretty
about
close, isn't it?
it's the 12th, yeah. So it's post games, but we'll need to get him out of there quickly. If something starts a little sooner, he will be
Yeah.
coaching. He'll be coaching Katrin at the game.
Okay.
So it's yeah. I mean, aside from that, but the best part is that's not stressful for us internally. Sammy is the one who's made the rules around that, which is you should be there coaching, and if I go into labor, I'll put a slow in it, hopefully, and we'll just chill until you get here. So
Have the
it's
private jet on
honestly hasn't
standby.
really changed much.
Have it have it just
It's
off to the side there.
but yeah, everything's great there, and it's everybody on our team, athletes included, are super excited for baby Fraser. I
That
can't
is
wait.
awesome.
We're gonna love on that
Oh
thing
yeah,
hard.
absolutely. And I mean, it's such an exciting time to kind of see, you've got these elite athletes, and they're all just become mush when a baby comes around.
It's so true. Yeah, it's there's a lot of it going on in general in our space. Annie's a
Yep.
mom, and other athletes have gone that route too. So it'll be exciting. Honestly, I think they're all kind of like phasing into that right now. Anyway, with this initial crop of
Yeah.
athletes, so they can get some practice in changing some diapers on baby
and,
Fraser.
and then of course everybody's talking about the crop, 18 years down the road of what the CrossFit Games are going to look like with the next, the actual next generation of athletes coming up. But we'll let them do whatever they're going to do now.
Yeah,
Don't put that pressure on them. But I mean, there's the obvious, comparisons that they're going to be like, oh yeah, well, baby Toomey and baby Fraser are going to be, going at it for the women's title in 20 years.
Yeah,
But
right. I know that would be pretty incredible.
it would be amazing. I got to throw my kid in the mix because she's working at it. She's
Never
working at
know.
it. She's trying. So
I think those guys have some genetics working in their
I
favor.
know,
But
absolutely. So what are some things with HWPO training on the horizon? I know everything is all focused right now on the CrossFit Games, but what are some things you guys are looking forward to kind of going into this next season now that you've kind of had a year to, kind of put things together and really kind of catch your stride with with the new building and the training programs and everything kind of really picking up momentum?
yeah, anything we're doing is trying to be better for those that trust us, whether it's those athletes or members, subscribers. We call them hard workers. And so anything we have planned is to enhance that overall experience. App updates that are coming, which is a huge priority for us
Yep.
always on a monthly basis. So, new looks and additional features, which we listen to our membership on, and then getting more involved in events, things that our community can train for and attend with us. So we're doing an event of our own in December called Gather, which we're really excited about, which will be not a training weekend, but a weekend for like-minded people to spend some good time together, them to get to spend time with Matt and our athletes and the rest of our extended team for a few days at a ski resort, do some skiing, do some hanging out. We're getting a country music singer to come in, like just some really cool stuff like that. And then we did a partnership with All Day Running.
Yeah.
Devin Levesque's a really good friend of ours, and they're doing some really cool stuff there. So again, just an opportunity for us to get our community together somewhere, do something different, show that how we train is generally preparing us for anything, which is fun. And I think on the horizon we'll do more of that. With us more active in those opportunities, like myself, Matt, Sammy, Harry, extended team will jump in. We've talked about possibly running a marathon. Matt has a new insane adventure I'll save, but he and I might do around this time next year. So like there's really cool stuff like that going on, and partnerships in general. Like I'm really excited about the CrossFit Games. It's a huge step for us as a space to have programming platforms involved at that level in the games, and then just for us in general as a business to show up in a bigger, better way at an event that is really the biggest of
Yeah.
the year. That Wodapalooza, those are events that I think we're gonna, flagpole for ourselves, where we'll spend a lot of time, doing more to gather our community and also contribute to the event, with volunteers, staff. So yeah, there's always a lot going on. New tracks that are in talks. We've, been talking a lot about Amanda Nunez and the fight route. We're just really trying to get dialed on what the best approach is for her and for everybody that will want to be a part of
And
that.
now that
And
she's
then
retired, she's got time on her hands.
she does. Somehow she is just as
Yeah.
active as she was when she was
Well,
fighting. It's probably easier sometimes when you're focused on a
yeah.
fight. You kind of block the
Well,
rest
it's the
out.
same as Matt. I mean,
Super incredible.
he's
Yeah,
busier now than he probably was as an athlete. Yeah.
1000%. Yeah, he's really. I can speak to that for sure. Way busier, but yeah, a lot of great, exciting stuff coming. Where the activation at the game is going to be really cool. Honestly, it's going to give people an opportunity to sort of step into our world. It's very indicative of what our headquarters looks like, and so it's really going to be a fun couple weeks out
Yeah,
there.
I actually did want to wrap back around to that, and you brought us right to it. You talked about being, an active partner with the games. I know you guys are partners, proven partners with the games as well. So what does that look like for you guys? Because previously you've done like the offsite activations where, you'll find a gym and you'll, go host some events out there. Is that kind of just taking it into the games now and bringing it out on that floor?
Exactly. We would look at a partnership from two angles, essentially. How can we enhance the experience for the event? And then, how can we bring our brand and culture to life the right way? So being able to do some of that on site's huge. It's really, stuff we probably would have wanted before, and it was kind of a catalyst in this. Like, we're doing so many things removed from the experience on site. I think we both, CrossFit and us, identified that it'd be great to do some of that there. It's not that we won't do offsite. GoOut is a massive partner of ours, friends. They rent a gym that we will continue to do some workout activations at. We are taking over a restaurant in downtown Madison, short stack.
Nice.
We'll basically create an experience HWPO training related there. The menu will be branded us, and there'll be opportunities for you to get access to things by going there and eating certain dishes. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that. We're gonna have a lot of community activations in general. Our community manager Sam Petrich is planning paddleboarding, running, other ways. We're bringing all our coaches out to coach. We're going to coach a bunch of stuff on site. Is the answer to, I think, the question
Yeah.
you're asking. We're going to have workout activations in the spectator workout area. We're planning a massive class sweat that we'll do on the outdoor field of play.
Yep. At our North
which
Park.
is, we're working out the numbers on that, but we want to try to have, honestly, as many people as we possibly can get to work out there and do like the world's largest sweat or something like that. So we're we're really, and again, and then lastly, the booth. Like, we will have, Matt will do appearances, Amy and I, Everett, Rob Kearney. The rest of us will be around there periodically to chill and interact with people. And we got a lot of really cool merch that we're dropping for kind of a first time to the public, really a bunch of merch and some merch dedicated just to that event. So it'll be really fun for us. We're gonna have we got a lot of stuff planned, and now we got to
That's
execute.
awesome. Yeah, I actually have Amy and Jake both coming up on the show later this week and next week. I think we've. Yeah,
Oh, really cool. That's awesome.
we're planning a HWPO training takeover on WexPL as well. So we
I
got you
love
guys,
it.
we got you guys on here, taking over the podcast. So, and having all these moving parts, it all just seems like it all fit together naturally. But I know there's a lot of work behind it. Did you reach out to, did you like reach out to Amy and Rob to bring them in, and like how did all these moving parts, you get the best of the best all in one spot?
Yeah, we really try to look at people first, people we identify with that fit our culture. And then, we look at, where they stand in the world that they're coaching in or, influencing, and, are they best in class? And we have that with both of those
Yeah.
guys, and that's like the real path forward, is identifying, people we, enjoy being around, being with, that identify with our brand and culture, and they have something to add. They add value to our system and to our subscribers. It's really, we want people to be able to not leave when they want to do different things. So just have angles that they can train. We do know that CrossFitters train periodically differently throughout the year. And so we're just really trying to provide more access to people, with people that are best at what they do. So it's, Amy and Rob are really proud, success stories for us. They've done a great job. They fit really well with us as a team. And they're really good at what they do. Honestly, they've helped our elite athletes greatly, and they're also helping a lot of people around the world get better at strength and
Yeah.
lifting.
And it's such a wide breadth of talent. It's not just one thing, which I love. Like, talking about bringing in Amanda Nunez is like, that's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different class of things. And it just seems like just greatness produces greatness, and that's just a fun thing to watch evolve with you guys. It's been great to watch.
It's fun. It's fun. Honestly, we are really grateful that people trust us to do this with us. We don't, we're just constantly trying to evolve and get better. I do have more reflective points now at the point I'm at in my life, because how quick things can often change, but we have a really cool team. And my job on a daily basis is to continue to make their experience great. And we work really hard on that internally with how we build our processes and put people in positions that excite them. But we're really fortunate with the group of people that we have and the relationships we've cultivated over the years. And it's just cool to see it all come together. Everybody on our team has a vital role in our success and helping people get better, honestly. And that's our due north is just helping people, and it's really fun. And these guys do a great
Yeah,
job of
it's
it.
awesome. And looking, obviously looking back, you had a very vital role in Wodapalooza. Seeing them, we've alluded to it that they're moving out west to host a second out there in California. How does that, how does that kind of play into, what you've seen with them, and how excited are you for them to see them go out west?
I'm really excited for my friends. Yeah, I mean, people there are first that, I have a lot of friends there. I had a great experience there. I learned a lot. So anything that they're going to do forward, I'm going to find a way to support and be proud of them in the process. I've talked to Dylan quite a bit, who I'm
Yep.
closest with and still there. Those are always things that were talked about for a long time. He's taking the bull by the horns and executing it. What they're doing is not easy, but it's the right thing.
Yeah.
Giving more access to that platform is an obvious next step, considering how monumental the Miami event is. It's time, and so I think whatever they do, they're going to be successful with a the team that's around them, and b the Waza brand. It's so attractive. So bringing that to life on the West Coast is a sure bet, honestly. So I'm really happy for those guys. I got a chance to catch up with Dylan actually this past weekend. Hadn't talked in a bit. We keep in touch weekly text wise, but he's he's really
Yeah.
excited. And honestly, things that he's excited about and visualized and played out, honestly, have a really good chance of being successful. He's great at what he does, and a lot of what you see at Wodapalooza is stuff that he's
Yeah,
molded.
and he and I've talked a little bit after after the announcement and everything, and I was texting back and forth with him. I'm like, hey, whatever you guys are doing, I don't even know what it is yet, but I'm in. He's like, we got you on the list. You're there. So, hope.
That's proof of it, right? And that's like a really big metric when you start to look at why with anything is, I'm sure there's plenty of people that that's the response. And there's also another layer of people that are pushing
Yeah,
for it, and it's saying we need more, we want more. And so, that's where, and they're very data driven. I'm sure there's like no doubt in their mind that they're making the right move from my experience with being there and the accountability that you're held to as a team through how they process things. So, it's, I'm sure, a really nice next step. That community out there is
yeah.
amazing, honestly. Like having an event, a flagpole event in California is super important. Honestly, that's
Yeah.
our home.
Well, and that's the other thing is that, and I've said it before with Wodapalooza. I've only been there the past 2 years. It was the first time was 2 years ago, and then last year, of course, with the podcasting. And very quickly it became, this is my favorite event. Like, I love the games. They're great, but that's business. Like, this is fun. This is like the all-star game of CrossFit. This is, where the who's who of everybody comes to Miami to just hang out. You can walk up and, the athletes will, talk to people and be able to take pictures, and they're a lot more relaxed. And I can only imagine how that's going to look after the games in California. I think it's just going to be amazing to kind of have that on the West Coast as well as on the East Coast now, and being able to just have its own personality, but still have the same feeling and vibe. I think is going to be amazing out there.
It will, yeah. The games and Wodapalooza are just two, like you're identifying different things. I've loved both those touch points on the calendar my entire time and career in the CrossFit space. And again, Waza, far before I ever had an inkling that I might be involved, it was always one of my most favorite weeks of the year because of what you're talking about. It's the hanging
Yep.
out and getting to actually, have some interaction with the people that, are in the circuit that you don't, when you're at the games, you're like tunnel focused on the things that you're trying to do for the people that you're trying to do
Yeah.
it for. So it's a different experience. They're both incredible, honestly. If you look at where they were and where they are now, it's a pretty monumental double success
Yeah.
story.
And it and it shows that something can be done right. And there you can go either side of this on the criticism of, CrossFit and what they've done and or not done, in the past as far as the games or as far as the community and things like that, and kind of some of the missteps. But it's like there's just something about the way that Wodapalooza does stuff and Loud and Live do things that it's just like, okay, yeah, this is common sense. Let's figure it out. Let's get it done, and let's have a good experience for everybody. That I think there's a lot of takeaways that other promoters can look at and say, yeah, that's the model. That's the model of what we need to do to make this work. How do we mimic that and put that in other places? And without playing the whole king for a day thing, I recently heard a podcast where they were talking about, oh, we want to get the open numbers up. And I'm like, there's simple things that could be done to bump those numbers up. Just easy, free things that you could do. Like one of my ideas was, hey, do a random drawing for everybody who signs up for the open. And, you've got what, 40 athletes on the men, 40 athletes on the women for the games. Have each one of them sign a jersey and give away game signed jerseys from the previous year to a random winner, not somebody who does the best in an event, a random winner. And I think just that, oh yeah, I'll throw in $20 to possibly win a jersey. Things like that, just
That's
like little
cool.
promotion things to just kind of get people excited about, oh yeah, I'm going to sign up. Hey, there's a package for 2 to the CrossFit Games just for signing up, random draw. Let's see if we win. I mean, I've thrown in more money for less in trying to, get things.
That they both have to look at any event organizer that is listening to is that there's these 4 pillars of those events, athletes, volunteers, and staff, um, you know partners and spectators. And so when you think about what's like, what is an event, is it's creating an experience, a great experience on brand for what you're trying to accomplish. But you have to then consider all those pillars in it. You can't have a great event with a miserable crew of volunteer. I mean, people volunteer their time for
Yeah.
these things. So you really need to pay attention to making sure that they're taken care of and felt, that you're grateful for their, attendance and help with the event. So I think that that's areas that, and I learned a lot about those at Loud and Live, and I think we're really good at that. You're never perfect. There's a lot of things that we needed to get better at there, getting better at even today. But all those things were always in mind in decision making. So, when you see 2 great events that sit out there right now, what their success is surrounded, it's
Yeah.
that, they really are thinking about, those 4 contingencies and what their experience is at those events.
Yeah. And I think that CrossFit does a good job of as far as like taking care of the volunteers from what I've experienced as a volunteer myself. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
they really do, kind of roll out the red carpet, hook you up with, a lot of cool things. And
I've learned a lot from those guys on that. Yeah, they've done a great job
yeah,
with
so
that.
I'm excited. I'm going up. I'm volunteering the first 3 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm volunteering, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm on media. So then it's all shift to business and podcast, for me there.
Good.
So we in Madison be hitting up I was gonna say the trailer park, the campground. The trailer park
Yes.
sounds, that sounds a little degrading to it. It's the campground. It's a lot of fun. But hitting up all those, hitting up all the events and seeing everything that's going on. Uh, you know, does Matt show any stress as far as going into the games this year with, like we were talking about with Sammy being, you know, due to go somewhere around that time, and just, I'm sure it's in the back of his mind somewhere.
No, I think planning answers a lot of that, and he's really comfortable with what they've discussed and what his role in all that is, I mean, he wants to be there and he
Yeah,
will be. So I think that's, we've just made plans around that. But yeah, Matt shoulders the burden of everything that he's involved in uniquely the way he competed, right? So he wants to be perfect and he will work at every angle to be perfect, which is an impossibility,
of
by the
course.
way. He knows that, but he's still going to fight for it for the rest of his life. So, there is pressure when we go into an event like that, now mounted more because of our involvement at a deeper level. But those are things that we're comfortable with. Like, we have been doing hard things our entire careers. He has more than any. So yeah, there's, obviously, not stress is a bad word for it. It's just pressure to, we want everybody to stand on the start mat and look to the left and right and think that they're more
Yeah,
prepared. We want to execute, a great event for HWPO in our community. Like, there's a lot of pressure there, but that's how we
yeah,
work best. So we have for years. And so, yeah, I mean, he's not walking around stressed. Oh my God, I got a baby coming at this event. He's just like, all right, how do I get ready to be able to
yeah.
do it all?
I'm sure flight is booked for like 6 p.m. Sunday night.
We're all dialed in on him.
Like get
Trust
a
me.
like
We got multiple
games are over.
plans.
Cool. Take pictures. Out. Ready to ready
Yeah,
to.
yeah. There won't be any pictures. He might be in the car as the last event is just crossing the finish
Nice.
line. So
I mean, obviously, if you get somebody on the podium, he's gonna want to, at least congratulate and stand up there, stand there with them. But yeah, I'm sure his mind is ready to get out of there as quick as possible. This go around. Um, with the CrossFit Games on the horizon, and of course, Wodapalooza doing what they're doing, which will be next. Which, if everybody is confused, it's next year. It's 2024 that the California version's coming. Um, any looks towards the future, and I always want to tread on this one carefully because I love Mal. But like, any word on her as far as how she's doing, and if she's coming back, or how that's going.
yeah, that's not really the priority right now, honestly. She's doing great is the direct answer. And it's a good
Yeah,
question, honestly. I don't think any of us don't want to be asked about it. I think we're just, really respectful of, what she's
yeah,
up to. Honestly, she was in Vermont this last week, and a lot of people saw that on social, which was really cool. And she's doing
yeah,
great. She got to jump in a little with everybody, and she just doing what she should be right now, which is just recouping and recovering. And I guess whatever it looks like forward, that's going to be when she's ready to talk
yeah,
about that. I don't
yeah,
I don't think she knows or we know anything more than hey, she's good, and it's been really cool to experience the last couple months with her. I think a lot of people would have looked at it and been like, oh, there's this crazy devastation going on around all that. It was honestly one of the coolest experiences of my life, my professional life, to see somebody take control of a situation like that, especially at a young age, and be really mature about decision making and taking care of
yeah,
themselves. So she's doing just that, and we're supporting the heck out of her wherever we can. We're just, wish we could spend more time with
yeah.
her right now, but that's not where we're at. She's just doing what she needs to do. She's been home. She's
Good.
doing great.
And I come to that question of it's one of those things that has to be asked, but I'm like, I don't want to be, I don't want to pry, because I want
Thank
to
you. Yeah.
respect her and her privacy, and what she's going through. But also, it is a topic. It is something that people need to be aware of, that can learn from how she's dealing with things and how she's handling things, that people can be like, oh yeah, it's okay. It's okay to, the saying, it's okay to not be okay sometimes, and take a step back and recalibrate. And so I wish her the best with all that. That's definitely, that's always my intention with it. I, want to lift everybody up, and not, I'm not trying to, throw dirt
Oh,
on
I
her or anything like
appreciate
that.
it. It's a valid thing to ask. I think it's irresponsible if people don't, because it's obviously something that people are curious about. I think it's we and Mal have a responsibility to communicate a bit at times on that, and we will more, and I'm sure she will. She's really good at communicating, honestly. So I think when she's ready to talk more about it, she will. She's again just doing fantastic, which is really all this was
Good.
about was her getting where she wanted to get with all of it. So things are good.
Awesome.
We'll see what the future looks like. But I tell you, it's funny. I think a lot of people would wonder or be on the edge of their seat about that. We're
Yeah.
not. And it is for everybody. Whatever is best for them, and we process things together and make sure that everybody knows all the angles and questions and turns that might come with each of those decisions. But I mean, that's our priority is her as a person, not as an athlete. It is when she wants us to be as an athlete, but that's not
Yeah.
it today.
And that's one of the things that I look at, of course, also being a father. And I think I actually even messaged you, right after the announcement and everything, was like, hey, all the best, as a father, with a daughter who's in CrossFit and, wanting to, she wants to compete and do things. And I have to look at it a little bit differently. I think, obviously the comparison between, younger male athletes versus younger female athletes and the different pressures that each of those have. I look at it, very carefully of like, okay, how do I not put, the undue amount of pressure on her, let her still be happy and be a kid, let her do what she needs to do to succeed, but also the world and the pressure and the social media and all that I think is different for, a young female athlete versus a young male athlete. And
It's like really, it's been an interesting experience related to that. Is like contemplating, is it too young, or like what's the right process for somebody. I mean, I think the each individual is different. I think people like Mal are individually
mhm,
driven. So I think that's the catalyst in wanting to be great or the best or chase championships. As people who mentor in people like her, or parent people like her. Her parents are two of the greatest people I've ever met in my entire life, and how they've supported her through this is something should be written on it, and so that people can
yeah.
learn from it. It's
Well, and I think that's a
fantastic.
parallel, of course, with her and Haley as well. It's like their parents are great. Like I've
They're
met Haley's
awesome.
parents. I mean,
Yeah.
they're fantastic. So I mean, I don't think it's like, oh, we've got
Yeah.
this person who came up in this broken home and they just don't know how to handle. It's like, no, they came up in a normal home. You know, they've got a support
And they've
system.
supported
Yeah,
they've supported each of them to chase their dreams, and I think you step back and you wonder what you can do differently to, create, a platform where this isn't stressful or there's chaos. It's just hard, that pressure, I don't think anybody can relate to it. I've been around it with Matt and what that means. It's a lot, there, and you, as a perfectionist, care about what everybody thinks of you and says, and that stuff can have impact. People's words matter. I think it's really cool that people like Matt, whoever it is, anybody in the space wants to be seen for who they are as a person and how hard they work, because that's a lot of these people's platforms. And to be criticized around that sometimes can be hard. It's just kind of the reality of social. So then you ask yourself, like, do you avoid those things? Do you, dig into them and learn around them? What's too young? What's too old? I don't have the answers, but we're learning every time we go through something like this as to, how to better prepare somebody, especially at a young age. I think a lot of people would say, play other sports and, mature that way, and, make sure you're not missing things, through your childhood, like school and things like that. But again, I mean, this isn't new to
no,
sports. This doesn't make it
yeah,
right, but it isn't new that super young people compete on the world stage. Gymnastics is a good example, and there's been a lot of pain there,
yeah.
so you wonder what's best and how to go about that. I don't think any of us have like the direct perfect answer, but all I know is the people in this situation have made great choices and just cared dearly about Mal and her, her personal self, not her athlete
Yeah.
self. So it's been an awesome experience, honestly, hard at times, but she's doing great
Well,
now.
on the personal side, I wish her the best. On the athlete fan side, I wish she would come back, but because we love to see her compete. But obviously, I wish her the best on the personal side, far more than on the athletic side. And I think it's awesome to see you guys taking those steps with her and alongside her and helping her along. It's been great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's awesome.
So we've got a little bit more time left, but going into as I said, we're going into the games. We're going into kind of what's going to be a fairly not it's going to be a wild ride these next few weeks. What is something that you're looking
Always is, by the way. So
what is kind of is there one thing you're looking forward that you're wanting to see at the games? Kind of like a obviously dream picture would be everybody podium. But as far as either in the games, as far as from a performance standpoint or from a personal standpoint, is there something that you're looking forward to in the games that you're wanting to see happen in the next coming weeks?
yeah, I mean, it's gonna really sound cliche. It's just who we are. Like I think a perfect weekend for us is we're proud of how we've shown up. That's not primary, but primary would be, all those athletes are really proud of their performance. And that includes us having prepared them properly. So it's really the goal. We don't talk about, positioning
Mhm.
often, really. I believe you're crazy to think an athlete doesn't think about winning or podiuming. That's great. That's exactly what they should be doing. But there's a day-to-day process involved in getting to that point and being prepared for it, and we're focused on that. And then when we get there, the metric just is, hey, did we get everything out of every event we could? And even though that's an impossibility, when we didn't and we hit adversity, we thrived. We were able to really lock in and then get the most out of, maybe what is a crappy moment. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited just to be back there. It's been a lot of change, which I think will bode really well. Honestly, I think people will be excited to see what it looks like with all of that. And I mean, the actual competition is going to be incredibly exciting on both sides this year. So I'm really, interested as a fan. Forget about who I'm involved with to see how that
Yeah.
plays out. I'm really, it'll be a lot of fun to watch this year. It is every year, honestly. Like even in those years where you seemingly could have said like Matt and Tia are going to win, they won by so much the year prior. In a really cool way, maybe because it was so being so connected to those two individuals that it was always, the way we process things was not that we're going to win. Like
Yeah.
obviously, as long as something crazy doesn't come up, maybe that's what greatness is. They didn't think like that, nor did any of us. They were still always like really interesting. So I think from a fan perspective, they probably not had a year going into the games more than this year where they had probably maybe no idea what was going
Yeah.
to happen. So it's but yeah, I mean, so athletes proud and pumped about where they end up through their performance, and us really doing a good job, with all the stuff we have going on. We have a really full plate this year. We've got about 30 people coming to support what we're
Wow.
doing, and there's a lot of moving pieces. So I'm excited to just see our team in the mix there. It's a lot of their first experience around the games at a level like this. So I'm ready to go to battle with everybody. It's really honestly my favorite time because of that. It's like we're all pointed towards making sure everybody gets what they need on the athlete side. And we know that there's, quarter percents and half percents that we can contribute to people being more successful. So our team's really dialed around that. So it's just a fun time of year to be in the
Yeah.
mix, honestly, be in the game and helping people, achieve something great.
And where will you guys be set up this year? You said you're going to have a on-site location. Are you guys going to be out in the vendor village, or are you going to be out in the main area over by North Park?
So we're going to be in the vendor village. We are a partner, but we chose to be in there for a number of reasons. One of them is where Matt's brother Jesse is coming to the event. He's a tattoo artist,
Oh,
and we have this like crazy crew of people that have tattooed HWPO on their body. And it's not a couple, it's probably
yeah.
hundreds, and we see them at events all the time. So the team came up with a really cool idea, like, hey, if people want to do that, we'll have Jesse come in and do it. And then we'll figure out some sort of prize around people doing that. So it's, we needed to be inside for health and safety
Oh yeah.
reasons for that. And not having to sort of deal with any of the elements outside was a little easier for us. We, again, have just so much going on. And by the way, people don't even really realize this without Sammy being there.
Yeah.
So that's, we'll be fine. She's got us prepared for, the stuff she's involved in, but she's always been a huge part of whatever we've done at the CrossFit Games. So to not have her is something we're going to have to prove around this year because she's been such a big piece of it.
Yeah. She's at home just like, don't mess it up. I gave you instructions. I told you exactly what to do.
If I know her well enough, she'll be very engaged from home. She's pissed she's not going to be there. She's really bummed.
Yeah.
So yeah, successful games is everybody leaving with a smile on their face is the easiest way to say
That's fantastic. And so one of my best friends actually from last year has a Waza tattoo because of
oh wow,
because you saw that they were doing tattoos at Wodapalooza, right? But
yeah,
this will be a lot better being that it's inside because they had it all like saran wrapped off that whole area at Waza.
Yeah, I believe Sammy saw that maybe when we were down there. Yeah, I think it's it's amazing. It's crazy for me to think that people want to do that and that's humbling too. It's really wild that people identify that much to want to put it on their body permanently.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited. We're excited for that.
I'll have to go. Definitely have to go over there and check it out and see what all you got going on over there.
I mean, hop in. We can get you in there for a tattoo. If you want.
Let's go. My wife might be so angry. I mean, we're a very tattooed family. I mean, like I've got my whole sleeve done. Partially part of my sleeve done. But no, we'll have to go over and check it out.
I may be in the chair. We'll see.
You got a
couple. I have like my mother's signature on my wrist. My mother passed away.
Beautiful.
And, but things of deep meaning.
Yeah.
I do jump into that. So I think this is probably a good reason. So I'll probably be sitting there showing everybody.
That's
first,
awesome.
How it is to get HWPO tattooed somewhere on your body.
That's awesome. Man, that's gonna be a sight, and you're gonna be probably very surprised at how many people will be in line for that. Because man, I mean the line was long in Miami. I can only imagine what it would be, in Madison.
Well, I said something about it I was on 4th of July week. I was on Sevon's podcast and I mentioned it. And yeah, there's a lot of people excited and reaching out about it. So, which is so it's humbling but interesting. Yeah. So it's wild. Yeah, there's tons of people.
Gotcha. Is it just going to be Jesse, or is he going to have like a couple people with him?
He's going to have his apprentice with him. I don't like. We're going to have a full schedule. We're going to put this all out that people can sign up because there's only so much time that he can put in a day towards it. So I don't know what the numbers are or any of that, but the team has a schedule that they're going to put out and let people register.
Well, that's awesome. That'll definitely be something to see. So looking forward to Madison, looking forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully if you guys aren't like too busy, at least, get to say hi to you. Generally at these events, it's like a run by and be like, hey, how's it going? What's up?
Yeah,
all right. See you later. But man, I wish you guys the best. Hope everything goes great. Hope Sammy holds off until everybody gets back home, and that baby Fraser stays in for a little while longer so that everybody can be there.
Yes, please.
But
yeah, I know. I'm with you.
So, well, Matt, man, thank you so much for coming on the show and taking the time. Always love catching up with you and the team. And man, looking forward to seeing you in Madison.
Thanks, Wax. Appreciate you having me. Good to
no problem.
You've been listening to the HWPO Podcast. Get connected by heading to Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at HWPO Podcast for more bonus buffoonery and to get the full WEX experience. Plus, make sure to subscribe on your podcast app today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time for more barbells, beats, and buffoonery.